Tony D and Little Joan, and this is a screenwriter's rant on a blind bargain, an actual reimagining of a silent film that starred Lon Chaney back way back when, like 1922, and it stars Crispin Glover as a mad scientist, and it takes place instead of in the 20s in 1970. So there's a lot of hippie stuff in it. And in this version of the tale, a man sells out his elderly mother to a scientist so he can do experiments on him. Is that, what's her face? Emma Stone? Kind of looks like her. I'm not sure what he does. I think he might make her younger, at least for a time. But this is a very strange film, which is perfect for Crispin Glover, from the director of The Ghastly Love of Johnny X. So you can see the kind of tone it's taking. It's got hippies in it, and all kinds of like people from the 60s and 70s and stuff. It's got a kind of a cool aesthetic, you could say. And it's got a whole mad scientist vibe. It reminds me very much of a movie from the 70s. I'm not exactly sure who made this. I feel like it's destined to be some sort of cult classic. Like, it's not a movie you'd go to the theaters for. You'd go to the theaters like after it was released, right? Like, 5 years later after it became a cult classic, that kind of thing. So would I see it? I kind of like movies like this, if they're interesting. I like the aesthetic a lot. The aesthetic is cool. I don't know if it has the budget to make this. I don't know if that's her or not. I don't think it is. I don't know if they have the budget to make this as cool as it could be, but I do like to see Crispin Glover act like a maniac, so I think I'd watch it. I think I'd definitely stream it. Yeah, it would be a streaming movie. So first act, I think the main character owes a bunch of money, and that's this guy, and he's being shaken down. So in desperation, he gets contacted somehow by Crispin Glover's character, who offers him money if he'll allow his mother to stay in his spa, he calls it. But really, he's going to perform horrible experiments on her. Now, in the original movie, it was more of a like Universal monster movie. It was a mad scientist de-evolving people. So there was like an ape man and like a hunchback and that kind of stuff. In this one, I think Crispin Glover tries to make her younger, and possibly does, and makes her super hot. Because I think the hot blonde chick in this, not her, that's the mom. But later there's a hot blonde chick in it, who I think then is the mother. Let's see if I can find a shot of her. That's her. That was her in the background there. Yeah, her. I think this is the mother, only younger. But maybe the son doesn't know. And then Crispin Glover is maybe having a torrid affair with her or something like that. So then, so the first act is the wind up to the mother getting sent to the Crispin Glover. In the second act, he transforms her, and then it's kind of the fallout from that. Maybe it makes her crazy, makes her do crazy things, and Crispin Glover can't control her, and eventually it destroys him and the son. So it's sort of a classic monster movie homage. There's actually a movie within a movie in here. I don't know if I can find the link, the still again, but it's like a movie within a movie in here too, which I think probably foreshadows. Yeah, I think it's her being made young. I think it foreshadows what happens. And then here, I don't know what this is. This is very 70s. I don't know if this is his house after he got all the money and he like blew it all on stupid things like that, or it's the guy he has to pay. So I don't know. And then so the ending, I think she turns into some sort of monster. that runs amok, and so it ends in that sort of classic monster movie way. But kind of interesting. I'm interesting to see it. Interested in seeing it because I like monster movies, and Crispin Glover's just a maniac. He was like Joaquin Phoenix before Joaquin Phoenix. He always did like wacky things on talk shows and everything. So yeah, I would totally see this. Let's read the write up. Set in 1970, a blind bargain reimagines the lost 1922 Lon Chaney silent film of the same name. A desperate young man strikes a dark deal with an unhinged doctor, offering his mother as a subject for the physician's twisted experiments. So Crispin Glover, Jake Horowitz, Lucy Locken, Annalisa Cochran, Amy Wright, Sean Whalen, Jed Rowan, and Rob Mays as Vincent. So I'm not seeing Emma Stone here. She just looks like her. Quote, I wanted to make a blind bargain seem like it could have been an episode of Rod Sterling's Night Gallery. Oh, neat. And I believe I have achieved this to my satisfaction, says director Paul Bonnell. Okay. I mean, it's a bit inside baseball, but kind of cool because, you know, Blind Bargain's not going to be a movie that a lot of people remember or know. So I don't mind when they reimagine or remake a movie like that because nobody's going to remember a silent film from 1920 that I don't even think was popular when it came out. So yeah, I would check this out. A Blind Bargain. I think it's probably going to go right to streaming. I think it's sort of that vibe, but you might catch it in a major city in some strange cinema, boutique cinema, if it gets a sort of a low level release. But I will look for it on streaming. And that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Check out my books, The Pineys, books 1 through 16. Book 17 dropping soon. Over there at Amazon. What's going on with The Pineys? Well, I'll tell you. I just booked a bunch of new dates. So my calendar is filling up. Gator Weekend is happening March 7th and 8th for me at One More Bar and Grill out on 206 in Tabernacle, along with a whole bunch of other dates I just confirmed. So I'm very excited about that. I will be hopefully posting more about the Pineys book 17 very soon. All right, we'll see you